Hey guys, have you heard about the update in the tech world that everyone's been talking about in 2025? What a surprise! Elon Musk, known for his incredible ideas, has unveiled a new supersonic fighter jet. This is a real breakthrough that's already changing the game. Today you will learn all about the hypersonic miracle that can cover huge distances faster than you can say. Wow! Let's dive into this world together, where the future has already arrived. It's going to be a journey full of discoveries and unexpected twists. Elon Musk's new supersonic plane, the Starjet. In an era of rapid technological progress, few innovations have left the world completely speechless. Until today. Imagine a plane that can fly 6 times faster than the speed of sound, reaching the edges of outer space. Faster than any other machine made by humans. The device is so advanced that it can make current military defense systems obsolete. This dream is now becoming a reality. Elon Musk, the man who changed the game for electric cars and made space travel accessible, has just unveiled his new supersonic Starjet. But what does this hypersonic monster mean for the future of aviation? Global security and beyond. Does this mean the start of a new era in human achievements? Let's break it down. Elon Musk is a technical genius and innovator who has once again captured the world's attention. Recently, he announced that his Starjet, a plane shrouded in mystery and designed for great achievements, is finally ready to conquer the skies after successfully completing its first test flight. Musk, in his usual style, took to social media to share the achievement. It sparked a wave of discussions and debates across various platforms. The world is watching closely as this discovery puts the mask on the threshold of a new era in aviation, where the limits are at the level of the stratosphere. This plane isn't just another development. This is a significant leap forward in military technology, with its incredible speed and revolutionary capabilities. Starjet, what's the deal? Elon Musk and his hypersonic plane, the Starjet, are aiming to revolutionize the world of travel and logistics, making them faster, comfortable, and accessible. This project could stimulate international cooperation and innovation, breaking down geographical barriers. Comfortable and accessible. This project could stimulate international cooperation and innovation, breaking down geographical barriers. The new engine combines traditional aviation technologies with SpaceX's know-how in rocket engineering. The fuel for the Starjet includes liquid methane and oxygen, which reduces the environmental impact of using the plane. The car will be able to reach speeds of over 3,700 miles per hour, significantly reducing flight duration. The aerodynamic shape of the Starjet is designed to minimize air resistance and maximize flight efficiency. Modern composites help achieve the perfect balance of strength and lightweight construction. Modern navigation and communication systems, along with electronic control systems, ensure the precise and smooth operation of the aircraft. The plan is to implement eco-friendly methods for operation and maintenance, including recycling and reusing components of the aircraft. This will reduce the carbon footprint and extend the lifespan of the aircraft. The jet will open new horizons for the development of the tourism industry and scientific research. It will be part of global changes in transportation, including hypersonic flights and space travel. A worthy replacement, the Strategic Reconnaissance Aircraft State Route 70. One Blackbird, created by Lockheed Corporation, held the title of the fastest piloted aircraft in the world for a long time. Its first flight took place back in 1964. But in 1988, it was retired from service. Later, it was brought back into service until 1998. Now the company has introduced a worthy successor, the unmanned aircraft SR-70-2. Darkstar. Although the development of the machine is largely kept under wraps, some information about it is already available. It's known that, unlike its predecessor, the State Route 70, one Black Bear, which was used exclusively for reconnaissance tasks, such as observing and photographing objects. The State Route 72 will have strike capabilities, enhancing its competitiveness as a reconnaissance fighter. The presence of strike capabilities will boost the aircraft's competitiveness. Speaking of the expected armament of the next-gen aircraft, Lockheed announced that it will be able to use hypersonic missiles. Hypersonic weapons in the US are still in the development stage, so the use of hypersonic missiles on the advanced aircraft will only be possible after the relevant work is completed. According to Lockheed Martin's plan, the first flight of the new hypersonic strike aircraft State Route 72 is scheduled for 2025. The Pentagon is interested in acquiring this machine. Darkstar is scheduled for 2025. The Pentagon is interested in acquiring this machine, capable of reaching speeds from 3,900 to 4,500 miles per hour, invisible to radar and other detection systems. For comparison, State Route 70 Blackbird hit 2,200 to 2,700 miles per hour. Skin heats over 482 degrees Fahrenheit. The new speed threshold that the Darkstar Starjet needs to surpass creates additional challenges, which I'll explain next. At such high speeds, the aircraft's skin will heat up to over 482 degrees Fahrenheit. According to calculations by independent engineers, the inside of the pilot's cockpit glazing could heat up to 248 degrees Fahrenheit. The cockpit can theoretically be cooled, so the pilots will likely be able to safely return to base, unless, of course, they have to eject at full speed. However, thermodynamic issues make it nearly impossible to ensure the aircraft's stealth. Modern radar-absorbing materials start to melt at lower temperatures. Moreover, a heated aircraft will become an ideal target for infrared detection devices. Detection. Even if these issues can be resolved, there will still be one more challenge. At hypersonic speeds, the aircraft will create such air pressure that its wake will be visible on regular radar screens. In addition, the structural framework of the fuselage and wings cannot be made from traditional aluminum alloys. At such temperatures, aluminum loses its strength properties. Obviously, for the SR-70-2, Darkstar will need to create a composite structure made of polymers, ceramics, and metals. Engine. A regular turbojet engine has speed limitations due to the aerodynamic characteristics of the fan. Even for the Blackbird and other hypersonic projects of the US Air Force, the engine manufacturer Pratt & Whitney had to develop a special J58 engine, known as a turbo ramjet. Basically, it's a hybrid of turbojet and ramjet engines. The adjustable cones in the air intakes of such an engine slow down the airflow in the combustion chamber. It's clear that Darkstar will need an even more adaptable multifunctional hybrid engine that can operate at subsonic speeds for takeoff and landing, as well as at cruising speeds over Mach 5. It's possible that the challenges that arise will be overcome, but the military might decide against mass production, considering the many compromises involved for takeoff and landing, as well as at cruising speeds over Mach 5. Perhaps the difficulties that have arisen will be overcome, but the military will abandon serial production, given the many compromises. In any case, you and I will witness the birth of the Blackbird's successor, these and other supersonic aircraft. I described it in my Telegram channel, Unusual America, where I share the most incredible stories from life in the U.S. And I share important news. Come on in, read, and subscribe. The A-12, which became an inspiration for Elon Musk. The Lockheed A-12 was a landmark American reconnaissance aircraft that, despite its short service life, set records and left behind a rich legacy. In the 1950s and in the 1960s, the CIA initiated the Oxcart project to replace the famous U-2 reconnaissance aircraft. The contract for the implementation of the Oxcart project went to Lockheed, and in 1959, the legendary aerospace engineer Clarence Kelly Johnson, began developing the aircraft. The A-12 was the 12th version with the code name A-12. Archangel, which embodies cutting-edge innovations in titanium production, lubricants, jet engines, fuel, navigation systems, flight control, and electronic countermeasures. Technologies for reducing radar visibility and crew life support systems. Testing in Zone 50. The development of the A-12 was carried out under strict secrecy at Area 51 in Nevada, and efforts were made to keep it hidden from Soviet reconnaissance satellites. Base personnel received a schedule of Soviet satellites flying over the Nevada test sites so they could hide the aircraft prototypes in time. It was like a bus schedule. And it even indicated whether it was an infrared satellite and what type it belonged to. A former employee of the Hypersonic testing program at Area 51, T.D. Barnes, told National Geographic in 2011. Besides the hangars, the staff also created models, decoys made of cardboard and other materials, to cast shadows and mislead the satellites. They used thermal installations. They used fake engines to create the illusion that the planes had just landed. During one of the many test flights of the A-12, an incident occurred, leading to the plane crash in the desert, beyond Area 51. The American government tried to cover up the incident, but declassified photos showed the scattered wreckage of the plane and teams working to clean up the debris. Even in intelligence work, there are certain rules. What about the roads? If you've been in a car accident in America and don't know what to do next, where to turn for help, where can you find a qualified lawyer? How can you get compensation if you don't have insurance? The company Accident America helped secure $21 million in compensation for its clients. You'll definitely get answers to all your questions here. Link in the description. Pilot requirements. Despite the outstanding technical specifications of the A-12, there was little room left for comfort inside it. Pilots had to be under 5 feet 9 inches tall and weigh less than 174 pounds to fit into the cramped single-seat cockpit. Typically, there was only one crew member on board during the flight. The pilots themselves also faced strict requirements to operate the A-12. Candidates. They were selected based on strict criteria. Candidates had to log at least 2,000 flight hours, half of which had to be on the latest high-speed fighters. Candidates also had to be married, emotionally stable, and between the ages of 25 and 40. Only 16 candidates met all the necessary requirements and passed the strict security checks and medical evaluations. Narrowing down the list, up to 5 people. In the second stage of selection, 6 more people were chosen. The protective thermal suit for A-12 pilots. Thanks to its supersonic speed, the aircraft's skin could heat up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit and up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit near the engine. Pilots were required to wear special suits with thermal insulation, pressure control systems, cooling, and life support to protect themselves from extreme temperatures and sudden pressure changes in case of an emergency ejection at high altitude. The pilot's cockpit was also equipped with an air conditioning system that maintained a comfortable temperature during flight. The pilot's suits had instructions for emergency situations that they could resort to if there was a need to eject from the aircraft. The A-12's career in the U.S. Air Force. After its first flight in October 1963, the A-12 was officially deemed operational in 1965, setting a record speed of 2,200 miles per hour, which is 3 times the speed of sound and a maximum altitude of 90,000 feet. To this day, the A-12 still holds the record for maximum speed and altitude among manned jet aircraft with turbojet engines. Despite its revolutionary innovations, the A-12 only participated in one reconnaissance mission codenamed Black Shield, which took place from May 1967 to May 1968. The A-12 conducted high-resolution photography, the results of which could be processed and analyzed a few hours after returning to Earth. In total, 3 A-12 aircraft completed 29 sorties over East Asia, gathering intelligence data for the needs of the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. Around the same time, the United States began using Corona photoreconnaissance satellites to gather information about the Soviet Union. Satellites had lower quality images and slower transmission than A-12, but were invulnerable to missiles and less likely to provoke tensions. A-12 for transmitting photos to specialists, but they were invulnerable to surface-to-air missiles and were less likely to provoke international tensions. Then reconnaissance flights, fearing that Soviet radars would soon catch up in terms of technology. With the A-12, President Lyndon B. in 1968, Johnson ordered the cessation of this aircraft's operation. Then work began on creating its successor, the SR-70-1 Blackbird, which was later actively used for conducting reconnaissance missions during the Cold War. Blackbird, which was later actively used for conducting reconnaissance missions during the Cold War. The State Route 71 Blackbird is the successor to the A-12, the SR-70-1. The Blackbird had a lower risk of being detected by enemy radars compared to the A-12, thanks to additional optical and radar systems. The two-seater Blackbird was significantly larger than the A-12, measuring about 5 feet 9 inches longer and weighing 15,000 pounds more. It was slower, but it had a greater range between refuels. When the use of spy satellites started to really take off in the field of foreign intelligence, the fate of the SR-70-1 mirrored that of its predecessor. The last Blackbird was retired on January 26th, followed the fate of its predecessor, and the last Blackbird was retired on January 26, 1990. In 1990, the YF-12, an armed variant of the A-12, was developed in the 1960s. In the 1960s, as part of the Kidlock project, which was a continuation of the Oxcart project, the YF-12 emerged shortly before the State Route 71. It was designed to reach speeds of up to Mach 3 and altitudes of up to 80,000 feet. The YF-12 was designed to intercept Soviet bombers at long ranges and high speeds, equipped with 3 air-to-air missiles. However, due to cuts in military spending related to the war in Southeast Asia, Defense Secretary Robert McNamara decided to cancel the Kidlock project in 1968. In 1968, in 1968, and the YF-12, it was never put into service. M21, a variant of the A-12 with unmanned aerial vehicles, the M21. Created as part of the Tagboard project for the CIA, it was a modified version. The A-12 was designed to carry an unmanned drone that collected intelligence data over enemy territory. To avoid confusion, the modified version of the A-12 was designated the M21, and the drone it carried was called the D-21. A total of 2 M21 units were produced, one of which was lost during drone testing in 1966. Elon Musk's son is named XA-12. The A-12 is also a favorite aircraft of tech mogul Elon Musk and singer Grimes, which is why they chose a name for their child, born in 2020, that's connected to its famous predecessor. XA-12? A-12? In her tweet posted in May of that same year, Grimes explained the meaning behind the name choice for her son. Although their favorite aircraft is the SR-70-1 Blackbird, they decided to include a reference to its ancestor in their child's name. Unarmed, unprotected, but with high speed. Perfect in battle, but without aggression, Grimes wrote on Elon Musk's social media. People often find inspiration in engineering challenges, especially those that were originally developed for military purposes but later found their application in peaceful technologies. For example, discoveries like penicillin and space satellites started as military projects but later became essential parts of our everyday lives. Even if SR-70-2, Darkstar, will be a failed project, the knowledge gained can help realize the dreams of humanity about suborbital flights. And that's all for today. Goodbye everyone, and see you next time.